Okay, this is going to be my thoughts regarding working with the Casting Call Club, possibly even a little bit of working with the Voice Acting Club. This has been over a year in the making, and I think that after that much time, I've got enough information to give a pretty good thought and review on the service, primarily Casting Call Club, for those that may be aspiring voice actors or what have you that are just getting into the service or haven't even heard about it yet or are looking around. Casting Call Club is a service for voice acting people, both amateur and they even have a professional area. Will go there to post their jobs. Usually it's podcasts or fan games, anime dubs, comic dubs. The amateur side is a lot of fan material that are looking for willing free voices to participate in their project. The other side, the quote unquote professional side, I'm really not sure what they think of it as. It's basically the professional side, has visual novels and other more professional, idealized projects. Actually, I was with Casting Call Club before they split it like that, and I understand why they did it. I have to give them some kudos. There were a lot of auditions that made you wince if you tried to listen to them. Voice Acting Club is another forum for voice acting, and it's if you're getting into it or want to do it for fun, which is how I do it. They have also things posted in their forum. They also have areas where you can talk, ask for advice, post your sound clips to get input. They have it split between paid and non-paid, and even if it's a professional job posted there, anybody can see it and audition the way a casting call would actually be done in the real world. Both of these have their pluses and their minuses, of course. So we're going to start with Casting Call Club because that's what this is primarily about, and I have more feedback about. As I had mentioned before, I've been with it over a year. I have watched it change and grow. I remember when it was a new thing. I used to have a paid membership, but these days I don't see the point. I would if I were allowed in the professional forum. The reason why I'm not allowed in the professional forum, and I am going to be the first to tell you this, is because I am not very good at recording my files. I have a lot to learn. And to get into and be allowed to audition on the professional side of Casting Call Club, you have to pass a review. And I haven't passed it yet after 3 or 4 times. I think it's 3, but I can't remember the number exactly. I suck at recording. So when it comes to Casting Call Club, I'm primarily on the amateur side. Yeah, there's hardly anything there for me as a mature adult to want to participate with. Sometimes something for My Little Pony crops up and I kind of look at it and go, and then I decide not to. There's been a couple of audiobooks, one of which I was fortunate enough to get cast in, and I'm really enjoying working with the cast with this audiobook. They're friendly, and when I came down with a cold, they didn't stress out too much. I get good feedback. So, I mean, there are pluses. Unfortunately, though, because it is the amateur side, you get this other element which actually discourages me from auditioning a lot. And that is the amateur unprofessionalism that comes with the projects, which you're going to get. For example, somebody puts up a project and they're looking for 5 voices and they have a deadline of, January 1st. And they're casting people for these voices before the deadline has even come, which is incredibly unprofessional. You're not even giving other people a chance that might be a better fit for your voice. You're just kind of grabbing off the shelf, so to speak. There's a little bit of condescending attitude. I was asked to re-record a role to see if I could do something better on one project recently, and I was like, sure. And I go back to record and I get told, don't bother. We've already cast someone, even though the deadline's like 2 weeks away. And then they're calling me honey in the dialogue. Well, honey, can you come over here and try for this voice? It's okay, honey. Just give it a shot, honey. Don't call me honey. Don't call me honey. I'm an old lady and I'm cranky and you're 12. Don't call me honey. Okay, it's rude. You're rude. You're not my grandma. You're 12. So that's discouraging. I won't work with that. Don't get me wrong. I'm sure the people are very nice. It's just that's a big turnoff. And the quality of the projects too are really, really low. By contrast, though, when it comes to all of that, you go to Voice Acting Club, and I have not experienced that in more than a year. I've been with Voice Acting Club a very long time. They had went down for a little while, and they rebuilt their forum, and now they've got this shiny forum. The minus to it is it's not as active as, say, Casting Call Club. A lot of people have gravitated to Casting Call Club, and so it's very active. I actually will go to Voice Acting Club forum more than I will the Casting Call Club, though. I have experienced a caustic environment from one role that I was cast through Voice Acting Club that I'm still smarting over, actually, because it was really caustic. But that's going to happen wherever you go. That does not necessarily reflect completely on the forum, no more than somebody calling me honey does, so much as just shows the environment. And if I was constantly cast in a caustic role, if I was constantly called honey or whatever, I'd be like, yeah, this is what this place is all about. But this is just an odd thing. Sometimes the things that are posted at Voice Acting Club are of better quality. And one thing I have noticed is if it's of good quality, it's not just going to get posted at Casting Call Club. If you're able to reach it, it's also going to get cast at Voice Acting Club. So if you can't get to it at Casting Call Club, chances are, I wouldn't say big chances, but chances are probably that it's going to be at Voice Acting Club. Now, when it comes to feedback and growing as a voice actor, Casting Call Club's got it split so that if you're aspiring, you start with them. And then when you think you're ready, you put in for a review to see if you'll be allowed to audition for the professional side. So far, I've been rejected a couple of times, and I'll cover that later. With Voice Acting Club, as I mentioned before, it's more like real life in Hollywood. But what they also have that Casting Call Club does not have, if I create an audio file and I need feedback, I don't have to go through this review process. I can post it in the forum and ask for feedback from the forum. In the forum, the people there are quite a few professionals there that are up there to give you advice and discussion. Some of the discussions are fabulous. I have yet to be trolled there. There's only one time somebody was really rude, and it was just one of those, well, this is a warning flag. I don't want to work with you. So you just, do your own thing. I'm going to do mine. I've covered both pluses and minuses, both sides. Now let's go down to my most recent experience with Casting Call Club. The last time I was rejected, the reason why I was rejected was that my audio had plosives. If you don't know what a plosive is whenever you say a p or a b sound and the puff of air hits the microphone and creates this wave line, and it really doesn't sound very good. The way to get around that, of course, is microphone technique and pop filters. Well, I have a lot to learn, so when I put in my file for review, I was told I had plosives. All right. Since then, I got cast in a couple of things, and I've completed one of my classes, and I've studied a little bit. So I came back, going to try again. And I looked at the page, read my account really carefully. The only thing wrong listed was plosives. Well, I can fix that. So I go into the original file that was rejected. And I had a main reason for that. I was updating my entire account and my profile, but I wasn't going to spend the hours to make a whole nother file. Let me just fix this file. I happen to know what to do to fix this file to get rid of the plosives. So I removed the plosives. As a matter of fact, I cut out parts of the file entirely. So essentially, I uploaded a whole new file, but the only thing different was the plosives had been removed. So nothing else had been changed. Didn't think about it. Got my rejection today. Yes, my rejection. And they said that the audio was still too loud. Like I had no idea it was too loud to start with. Still too loud. There was static and volume peaks. Now, I understand that there's errors in the file. There's no static in the file, by the way. I have listened to it with several different headphones on. I have listened to it on different systems. I'm not sure where they got static from. This file does not have static. But the other two things, okay, I can see that volume peaks are something new. Okay, I'll look into that and learn it. But the source of frustration for myself and possibly other aspiring voice actors that are in my position is that they weren't told about this to start with. With the last time, it was only plosives was the problem. So I actually, after a year of this, I say something to Casting Call Club and I receive an email. I believe it was from the founder, who, by the way, strikes me as a nice person. Definitely not knocking him. And he pretty much told me, don't try to punk the system. Well, when I re-uploaded this file, it wasn't to punk the system. It was because I had no confidence that I was going to pass, so I try. And because I wanted to see if it would actually pass this time. I kind of wanted to see if this bad feeling I had was right. That's not punking the system. Punking the system is trying to fool people. There was a meme on my Facebook today that said something along the lines of, enthusiasm becomes frustration when there is not enough information. Will I try again? Maybe, maybe not. I don't frequent Casting Call Club a lot because of the factors that I have listed. As I said, I will frequent Voice Acting Club a lot more. I'm certainly not angry that they rejected me because I was expecting it. I was expecting it because I've come to expect rejection from this place to the point that my enthusiasm about it is at an all-time low. As far as voice acting goes, I actually aspire to go to a more professional area eventually. I mean, I have memberships in some of these places like voices.com and Voice123, but I've still got a lot to learn, so I don't really push it there because I have a lot to learn. I have another class to finish, and I have real life to balance between this really slow career change of mine. In conclusion, I have to give Casting Call Club maybe 3 stars out of 5. I can't give them 5. I'm sorry. There are a couple of things that are discouraging and push people away. A lot of the area that you are allowed in when you're on my level are so cliquish feeling that you just don't want to go there. You feel like you're stepping into a kindergarten classroom. But when it comes to the young element and seeing young people be creative and everything, that is a good thing. It's just not for me personally. So 3 stars. I don't know if I'll ever come back to give it 4 or 5 stars later if it improves. This is just where it stands now. It's actually an improvement from a year ago when people would say in forums about how unprofessional and bad the place was and how it was just nothing but a big clickball. I have no idea about the professional side, and without that information, I cannot assess it any further than I can. Voice Acting Club, I would give 4 stars. I can't give it 5 because it is not very active. It's just not. It used to be more active and the activeness has faded, but it's got more going for it as far as participation. I mean, not participation, but it's got more going for it as far as the environment and some of the projects that are posted. It just doesn't get a whole lot. So it gets 4 instead of 5. And who knows, maybe I'll be able to revisit this in the future. Maybe not. I'm going to go.